Okay, so we got the BO2 tier list here. Weapon tier list, BO2 weapon tier list here, and we are going to rank all of these weapons S through F. S tier obviously being the best, F tier being the worst. And I'm going to try and give like a little explanation on why I put each gun where I did. But I can guarantee you there's probably going to be some that I have I can't tell you why I put it there. You know what I mean? Obviously this game is what, like 12 years old, 11 years, something like that. Yeah, 12 years old, I think. So I'm going to try and refresh my memory and go and make this list as best as possible. I'm just going to go in order of the guns that it is giving me. So I'm going to start with the AN-94. I'm not going to lie, obviously for me this is going to be S tier. I don't know where else you would put this gun, just because it's easily like top 2 assault rifles in the game, probably, for sure. You could throw in suppressor with it. The iron sights, it had good iron sights. You could throw a red dot on it if you wanted to. I feel like you could basically run a couple different attachments on this and it still played the same way. Oh, dude, the riot shield is obviously gonna go in F tier because why are, like, who's using the riot shield? I mean, you only use that thing to troll, right? So if you go up against it, obviously you're gonna be pissed off. Good morning, Ant. Good morning, Ant. How you feeling today? How you feeling? I'm not gonna lie. B23R I want to put in S tier. I'm not gonna lie, but I think I'm gonna put it in A. I think I'm gonna put it in A. Like, I want to put it in S tier a little bit, but A, I think. It was a good pistol. I'm not gonna lie. Like, I really liked using that secondary. What's good? What's good? CT Ballista. I'm gonna put in. It's either S or A. It's either S or A, to be honest. But I'm thinking more S. Yeah, but like, what am I going to do with the DSR? Because the DSR is obviously going to go in S, right? Pre-patch DSR was better than the Ballista, let's be honest. But I think just for the sake of it, I'm going to have to put the Ballista in S tier. I think I'm going to have to. But the DSR is definitely going to go in S tier too. It's okay. We can have 2 snipers in S tier. It's okay. Is that a legit rule, chat? Can we get a fact check on that? Is CT right? Or is that a legit rule? Because if it is, then I'm going to have to chalk my 2 in there because I already know what gun I'm going to put in there. Chat, is that a real rule when making tier lists? Somebody fact check that. Me and Bobby only did 1 S tier on all right. I'll do 1 S tier then. So we got to think. I'm going to put Ballista in A, and I'm also going to put the AN-94 in A as well. I'm probably going to have a lot of weapons in A. Ballistic knife, where do you guys think that goes? I'm thinking D. I'm thinking D or C, because like it was kind of fun to wank around with in Search and Destroy, like having the ballistic knife. Yeah, okay, D or C, but I think D as well. I think D as well. Okay, let's go to the Cheekum. So this is a burst fire weapon, and the magazine runs out so freaking fast, because if you're just spamming the trigger, like, oh my god, the clip is empty in like 2 seconds. Because I'm thinking either D or C again. I'm thinking more D, to be honest. I think I'm gonna put it in D. What would you put it though? I think I myself am gonna put it in D. Crossbow's either gonna go in C or D, boys. It was fun to use, but it's like, obviously, like sticks and stones. Okay, you can play that. Yeah, crossbow F. Okay, yeah. Okay. F. The DSR is gonna go in A, because I think I know what I want to put in S tier, chat. Even though the DSR could probably go in S tier, if I can only put one thing there, I know what I'm putting there. I'm going to put the Executioner in D. It was a fun gun to use. Horrible, though. Like, it was fun to, like, dick around with and just be like, okay, I'm using something different and make... I don't know. It was fun. Definitely it was fun to use, but it was really bad. The FAL... I don't know if you guys know about this gun, man. The select fire on this thing, dude, it's going in A. I'm not gonna lie. It has an S tier capability. It does. Select fire FAL. I used to use that thing all the time. I mean, it had a little bit of recoil, but it was literally just up and down, so you could control it really easy. Literally, the recoil just pattern was straight up and down. You gotta run toughness though, because any flinch you get, anytime you got shot in BO2, like the flinch was so bad. It was just so bad. You just look up at the sky, you know what I mean? The 5.7, I'm gonna put in B. Isn't it the first pistol you get? The 5.7 is gonna go in B tier for me, just because obviously it's a secondary, but in BO2 was like one of the last games where you could just run a secondary and be fine. Like BO2, you know, people were running like 5.7 suppressor, TAC 45, um, B23R suppressor. You know what I'm saying? Like it was I feel like it was common in this game to see people running secondaries as their main. So that's why I'm gonna put that in B. And I also do think the B23R is an A. Yeah, that's good. The hammer is going D tier. I rarely touched that gun. The recoil was off the charts. I hated it. And I know a lot of trick shotters use that gun. Anyway, I'm gonna put it in D just because I hated that gun. I rarely used it and the recoil was awful. Cap 45, where are we going with this? I'm thinking B tier. It could go in A. I feel like it could go in A. It has A capabilities. I think I'm gonna put the Cap 40 in B tier. That's personally just because I didn't use it that much. It was not my least favorite SMG, but I feel like I used the B23R over the Cap 40 most of the time. What secondary did you guys run the most on this game? The KSG is gonna go in C tier. It's not horrible, has some range, but it's literally like, I mean, it's a shotgun. Come on, we're going C tier right here. I'm gonna put this in A tier because I believe that's the LSAT and it was absolutely broken. I'm not a big LMG user, so I really didn't use it that much, but I will tell you I ran into it a lot. And then when I did use it, it fried people. So I mean, I could put M20. I'm okay with putting M27 in A. Like if you guys know me, I just use meta like all the time. And I know that BO2 was way more balanced because like they didn't send out weekly updates like they do now. Like you got the game and like that's how it was forever. So the guns were definitely more balanced, but I feel like I still leaned towards like the main top 3 no matter what. The M27 is gonna go in A, yeah, though. It is really good. I didn't use it that much. I'm not gonna lie. This thing is gonna go in F tier. It was horrible. You burst like 4 shots, and if you take your finger off the trigger too soon, it'll burst 3 shots, and then when you go for the second time, it'll burst 1, stop, and then burst like 4 again. You know what I mean? It's just this is where it gets hard, all right? Because I'm not gonna lie, the M8 is one that I was thinking about putting in S tier. It's between the M8 and another gun, chat. So I'm gonna skip the M8 for now and leave the last two for the 2 S tier guns for last. I think this is the MK48, this LMG right here, and I'm gonna put it in C. It was mid. It was alright. It was mid. It was alright. Not the best LMG, so I feel like we can only have one LMG up there. MP7 is gonna go A tier, obviously. I don't know where else you would put that, you know what I mean? MTAR, where would you put that? I'm gonna put MTAR in B. It wasn't bad with the suppressor. If you put a suppressor and maybe like extended mags or fast mags on it, it's not bad, but it's definitely not A tier for me. Peacekeeper's what, like the only DLC gun that came out? Yeah, okay, we could put Peacekeeper in A. Yeah, I was gonna say it's literally the only one. All right, this is our list so far. We're a little bit more than halfway, I believe. We have none in S tier, obviously, because I'm saving that for last. So that's how it looks so far. Let's see. This is the QB something, or am I saying that wrong? Is that what it's called in this game? But this thing is horrible. It's gonna go in D tier. Like I said, I didn't use LMGs that much, so the only one that I'm comfortable with putting up there is the LSAT because that thing was broken, and I know it was broken. But every other LMG I feel like is gonna either be in probably B below. So I'm gonna throw that one in D just because I'm not an LMG user like that. Is this a rocket launcher? It's going in F. Who ever used that? Even to take out airstreaks. Remington was my favorite shotgun, so it's gonna be A. That was my favorite shotty. The Remy. What is this? The S12? Fucking horrible. It's gonna go in F tier. I'm not gonna lie. Did not use that. It could probably go in D. Like it's not the worst shotgun in the game because I think that the M12 is way worse. But the S12 was not much better, let's be honest. Like I rarely use that. It's gonna go in F tier for me. Scar, that's going in A tier. The Scar is going in A. I don't have anything else to say about that. You throw on a suppressor, you throw on toughness, so you don't have flinch, because the flinch in this game, like I said, was out of this world. So you throw on suppressor, toughness, primary gunfighter, extended mags. You don't even need a red dot. If you wanted to run it, you could. It's not quite S tier, I wouldn't say. But A tier is where it sits. I think that's a good spot. I think the Scorpion goes B tier. And like, of course, I'm trying to rate this off of like how good they were, but also I'm rating it a little bit on like just how much I used the weapon in general. So obviously the ones that I use the most are gonna be up top in A tier and S tier, and then as I use less of them, it's gonna go down. SMR's F tier. That thing is horrible. That's the worst gun in the game. I saw people using this like later on in the game's life cycle, like because people played. I mean, even me, we all played like BO2 for like 4 years. Let's be honest. I mean, I did at least, and I know a lot of other people did. So I feel like later on in the life cycle of the game, I started seeing more people use the SMR, but it had to be just because like they never used that in the first like 3 years of the game. You know what I mean? I feel like it was just so bad that nobody touched it until like they were so overusing everything else. SVU, F tier, horrible, worst sniper in the game. I mean, you have to hit somebody with like 6 shots unless you're playing hardcore. So, chat, check out this coffee mug. It's a golf ball. Isn't that so sick? SWAT 556 is gonna go C tier. I cannot put that gun any higher. It's definitely not like D bad, but it's not B good either, you know what I mean? So like there was ways that you can make the SWAT a little bit better. You could put select fire on it and you could have it full auto. Like nothing was beating the M8 as a burst. The TAC 45 pistol is gonna go in B tier. That pistol was really good, don't get me wrong. Like a lot of damage. A lot of damage. I think the TAC had more damage than the 5.7, I believe. The TAC was fun to run in like search. All these secondaries people used to use as their primary. So it definitely is not bad at all. I'm gonna put it in B tier though. Yeah, B tier for me. Type 25 is gonna go in C as well. That gun had really bad recoil, and I never learned how to control the pattern. So if you could control the Type 25 recoil pattern, congratulations, you probably have it higher on your list. I didn't use the Vector that much, but I feel like it's good enough to be A tier, you know what I mean? It did fry, though. It melted kids, especially up close. I don't think anything was fast. That had to be the fastest SMG up close, right? That one or the MP7 probably had the fastest fire rate. I feel like the Vector did, though. The Vector definitely had the fastest fire rate. What am I talking about? MP7 was probably a little bit close behind. The SVU and the XPR were not good. The XPR was a little bit better just because you could actually one-shot people. Yeah, this is probably the toughest decision I've had to make. The M8 is going to go S tier. I'm not going to lie. I just feel like I can't put any... That's like my favorite gun in all of Call of Duty is the M8, I feel like. The MSMC is going to go A, obviously. If I could, I'd put both of the... If I could, it would be like this, chat. If I could, it would be like... If you would let me put an AR, one AR in S and one sub in S, it would be like this. But if I can't do that, I'm going to take this out and put it in A. Yeah, a W list or an L list? There's got to be some more tier lists, like obviously other games, weapons. Yo, what's good, YouTube? I appreciate you guys for watching the tier list video that I just made on BO2. If you guys do enjoy, make sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe on the video. And I'll see you in the next one. Peace out. I feel like I could have said more right there, but we'll just keep it short and sweet.